Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back once again to the Dynasty Hotseat. It's the only Dynasty show out there that's a certified inferno, and we're back one more time for one final rookie mock draft with the guest you've all been waiting for. It's me. I'm the guest. Welcome me to the Dynasty Hotseat. I'm Mags. I'm the host of this fine show over here. Welcome aboard. It's a rookie mock draft. You know the drill. We're going to go through it. It's Superflex. We're going to draft these players. I think it's only fair I tell you what I think of these guys. We've done dozens of these, all the way up in the 30s, I think, at this stage. So it's time to put my money where my mouth is and let you know my Superflex rankings. We're going to go through at least 2 rounds. I'll give you maybe a few more in round 3 as well, so you can see what I'm thinking about these guys. And then after that, we're in startup season mock drafts. Welcome aboard here. If you're returning, nice to see you. Welcome back. If you're new, if you could be so kind to hit that like and subscribe. Hey, hit that subscribe to become certified. I'm working on that. What do you think about that as a tagline? Not bad, right? Not bad. Hey, we recently crossed the 1,000 threshold. Big thanks. Big thanks to everybody. Tune in for the worst team ever, where I give a little more update on that, where I'm going to have a nice soliloquy for you to chat about just how thankful I am. But this is about drafting. Let's get into it. I'm going to take Ashton Jeanty with the 1-1. No questions asked. Great landing spot. Great player. Look, I'm not going to bore you by talking about Ashton Jeanty. You know him. You're taking him 1-1. Leave a comment if you've seen him not go at 1-1 for any reason, but I've not seen it too often. It's Jeanty. He's going to crush it. Can't wait to see what happens with him. At the 1-2, there's been a bit more discussion about who it might be, what it might be. Omari Hampton is someone I've moved up to my 1-2. Love the landing spot over at the Chargers. We've seen a hobbling J.K. Dobbins do quite well last year. We've seen Gus Edwards even have fantasy relevance there. Hampton's a different animal completely. I think he's going to come in and he's going to thrive. He could even give Jeanty a run for his money in terms of how high he finishes this year. As I think, well, some other running backs, which I'll get to in a minute, but Hampton, the upside is, he's going to hopefully finish as a running back 1 in his very first season, which would be great to see. I don't see too many pitfalls here. The competition not really existing there over at LA for him. I think he's got a clear pathway. You know Harbaugh wants to run the ball, so it's wheels up for Omari Hampton. I'm taking him at 2. At 3, maybe a little bit against the green here. Just a teeny bit. I've still got Trevan Henderson in at pick number 3. I think he's an elite running back. On tape, I had him above Omari Hampton. I thought he was a better prospect. I just love that Hampton landing spot so much. But I also love the Henderson landing spot. He's going over to New England. I don't know why people are really poo-pooing on the idea of him going to New England. He's paired up with Drake May, who we all love. Drake May needs some pass-catching weapons. He's added a couple of people here and there, but they're unproven in this offense, just like Trevan Henderson. I think Henderson and May, they could be best buds. Henderson's going to put in great blocking effort for him. He's going to be there for the checkdowns. And I think they're going to want to run the ball and establish that run. Ramondre Stevenson, I'm not too worried about at all. I think Trevan Henderson is going to have a monster season. These 3 here, this is why people were so excited about the running back class. It is no coincidence that there are 3 running backs at the top of my board here. I think they are all 3 smash hits. Can't wait to see what they're going to do. At pick 4, this is where I'm kind of struggling a bit between 2 guys. I will go for Cam Ward at pick 4. The 1 overall pick, I had the awesome Dave Kluge on the show who kind of talked about, yes, while round 1 quarterbacks are a lot of the time a 50-50 shot, the 1-1 is slightly different. The 1-1 is much closer to sort of a 70% success rate. So I'll listen to the wise words of Dave. I'll take a punt on Cam Ward. I did like the prospect. I thought he was a hell of a lot of fun to watch. I think if him and Calvin Ridley can link up, that'll be really a lot to take in at first, perhaps, for him. But I trust Cam Ward. I don't think he's a bad prospect. I don't think he's a lights out prospect, but I mean, we said the same about Bo Nix. He wasn't a slam dunk prospect, but if you land in the right place with the right people around you, there's a chance. And at 1-4, I'll take a chance on a young quarterback like Cam Ward for sure. Then after that 1-5, pretty simple here. This is where Ted McMillan comes off the board for me. I do not think Bryce Young is a very good quarterback. I did not think that when he came out, and I've got no reason to really think that ever since. So I'm kind of banking on the talent of Ted McMillan here to work with the next quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Could he do a job with Bryce Young? Probably. But I'm really waiting to see who they bring in next and who can really transform that franchise, because Bryce Young ain't it. I am looking forward to see if there will be a buy window on Ted McMillan because of the way the Panthers play. Maybe Bryce Young turns it around. I just don't quite see it, but I still really like the value of Ted at 5. Following Ted McMillan at 6, this is where we start to think about the Travis Hunter situation. Is he a DB? Is he a wide receiver? All signs seem to point to wide receiver. I still struggle a little bit with it. I'm going to grit my teeth and say this is where I'll take him. I know a lot of people have him up at 2. I can't do that for someone who has a clear question mark. I've got no question marks against Genty or Hampton. I've got no big question marks for Henderson. The upside in Cam Ward, sure, there are question marks, but as a quarterback, you have to push them up anyway. Ted McMillan, I don't really have question marks about his game. Hunter, there are question marks for me for sure. No one seems to be talking about the size. I know it's a less done thing now to speak about the size of wide receivers, but if this guy's going to play both ways at that size in the NFL against these monsters, that could get dicey. It could get dicey, but he's obviously supremely talented player. So I'm happy taking him at the 1-6. I've got 0 shares, I think, of Travis Hunter right now because I'm just not willing to take him any higher than this. Following him at the 1-7, this is where I go, my boy, RJ Harvey. He was the guy that I was so big on coming into this process, and he just absolutely excelled in college football. He excelled at the combine. Man, I'm slightly gutted because I've ended up with less shares than I wanted of RJ Harvey because I thought he was going to be available in the second. Man, when we started this process in the third, I was banging the drum. RJ Harvey. When I asked guests about sleeper, if you've been along the whole time, you know I've been talking about RJ Harvey the entire time, and here we are with him up at 1-7. I'm delighted for RJ Harvey. I'm gutted for my shares of him because I wanted as many as possible. He goes to Denver. We all know what Sean Payton can do with running backs. This is an exciting time to be an RJ Harvey fan. He deserves his place at 7. I even toyed with taking him at 6, I'm going to be honest, but I decided to go with him at 7. Right after him, go ahead, give me Quinn, Sean, Judkins here. I think he's going to come in and be an absolute rock for Cleveland. They need a player like that. They want a player like that. You know the fans love to run the ball. They don't know who's going to be throwing the ball at the minute, so I think Judkins is going to come in. He's going to take a lot of the workload. I'm not too worried about Dylan Sampson, really. There's no scenario when I would hand Dylan Sampson the ball when I could hand Quinshon Judkins the ball. So I think he's going to come in. He's going to be a workhorse. He's shown at Ole Miss that he can do that. Sure, he shared time with Trevan Henderson last year, but that's all good. He's coming in healthy. He's not banged up at all. He doesn't have, these issues that some of these guys like Najee Harris had coming out of college where, man, they got overused a lot. Judkins, not that issue at all. I think he's going to come in and be an excellent player. These 5 running backs, man, they're all going to finish top 24, I would say. They're all going to be at the very worst running back 2s. You could see maybe even 4 out of the 5 sneak into the top 12. That'd be really cool to see. Moving on swiftly, pick 9. This is where I go. Solid, consistent, reliable, Mecha Igbuka. I mean, before he got drafted to Tampa Bay, everyone spoke about the unbelievable floor that this guy has. I still think he's got that unbelievable floor. Obviously, there is Chris Godwin. There is Mike Evans, the ever young Mike Evans. But, I mean, time waits for nobody. Give it a year, and Mecha Igbuka is going to look like a bargain at 1-9. You can really trust me on that. I'm not even sure if Chris Godwin's that much better than him. I mean, coming off a nasty, nasty injury, he's had a lot of them building up. I don't know. You put them on the same team, fighting for that slot role. There's a chance, if I look at it, there's a chance that a Mecha Igbuka can come in and make that role his own. God knows Chris Godwin's going to get injured again. When's the last time he had a fully healthy season? So I think Igbuka is going to produce a little bit more than people think his first year, but this is really a pick for year 2, year 3. I'm delighted. Put him in your taxi squad if you need to. Love that value for Igbuka at 1.9. Next up, now this is kind of it for me. I don't know if it's the same for you, but I've got these 9 players. I'm like, yep. Happy. And then this is where I'm like, ugh. It pulls back a bit. And we kind of see why people were sort of down on this class as a whole, apart from the running back position. Because if you look, you can see I've drafted 9 players. Over half of them are running backs. So we got problems. Caleb Johnson at 110. Don't know if I love the value. Colston Loveland, great draft capital. Man, how's he going to get the ball? Tyler Warren, don't love that landing spot at all at the Colts. We've seen them really struggle to get the tight end to work. Maybe he is the exception. That proves the rule. And then you got some of these receivers coming in as well. And yeah, the risky quarterbacks. I'll listen to the NFL and take Colston Loveland here. And then I'll do what so many people on this show have done and take Tyler Warren right after him. But I don't love it. It's going to be difficult for Loveland to carve in a role. I mean, they drafted him at 10, so you'd think there's a plan there. But we've seen Sam Laporta come off a historic rookie tight end season. And then Jameson Williams came in. There was an extra mouth to feed, and he disappeared. Think about the mouths to feed over at the Bears with the same offensive mind in Ben Johnson. He's going to work damn hard to get him some targets. But he's a tight end. Traditionally, we have been more patient with them. I'm willing to be patient with Loveland and with Tyler Warren as well to make sure that they see their value. So I'm going to draft them here. I'm not going to worry about instant success. I'm not sure if we'll see it from either of them, to be honest. But I'm going to trust in the talent of these 2 guys and book them in at 10 and 11. And I'm going to round off the first round with Jackson Dart. Hey, name and nature, Dart. It's a dart throw. I'm not sure what's going to happen with him. I like the talent. I thought he was a hell of a lot of fun. I've been telling you all year, since October, he reminds me of Jalen Hurts. And what was the comp during the draft with the NFL analysts? Jalen Hurts. They've seen it as well. Not the perfect prospect. Clear flaws in the game. But when he gets it all right, when it all links in together, could be fantasy gold. So I'm delighted taking a risk on Jackson Dart at the back end of the first round. And we're going to roll into round 2 right now. If you haven't already, by the way, love it if you could hit that like and that subscribe button. Leave a comment as well. Who's my best? Who's my worst pick of the first round? Anyone you agree or disagree with in particular? Would love to hear from you. Right. Let's roll into round 2. This is where I'll happily take Caleb Johnson at the 2-1. Going into Pittsburgh, pretty good landing spot. Not too worried about the competition around him there. I think he'll have a pretty solid season there. And at 2-1, yeah, I think it's nice value to get a guy like Caleb Johnson. Moving forward to the 2-2. This is where we get a bit murky again. And between a few guys, I do believe in the upside of Trey Harris here at 2-2. I know people are screaming one name in particular here. Oh, you got to take that. It's going to be a while. Trey Harris, I think, has the highest upside of any wide receiver left here. Justin Herbert. Man, I'm telling you, people are still sleeping on Justin Herbert. That arm talent is elite. They know they want to stretch the field. They tried it with Quentin Johnson, even though he can't catch. And everyone knew he couldn't catch. Trey Harris is infinitesimally better than Quentin Johnson. He's going to come in. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to have a role. I think it's going to be dynamite. I can't wait to see what happens with Trey Harris. Lab McConkey's going to draw people here, there, and everywhere. And every now and again, they're going to hit a bomb over the top to Trey Harris. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a match made in heaven. So I love taking Trey Harris there. Right next to him, I'm going to go ahead here and take a punt on Luther Burden. I've been convinced by others about Luther Burden, I've seen it myself on tape, not this year, but last year, that he is available. I have the same hesitations I did with Colson Loveland. They're on the same offense. But, DJ Moore, he might not be there forever. You're thinking 2 years down the line, Luther Burden can carve himself out a piece. That'll be really, really fun. We know Caleb Williams does well with these types of receivers where you have to manufacture them some touches sometimes. Think Zachariah Branch when he was with Caleb Wilson. We've seen as soon as Branch left there, or left Caleb, he kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. So hopefully Caleb's the right kind of quarterback to pair with Luther Burden to get the best out of his ability. We'll have to wait and see. But I do like the value of Luther Burden at 2-3. It's worth a swing. Remember this time last year, people were arguing. In fact, all my Twitter mentions when I said I had Tet over Burden blew up. People calling me an idiot, etc., etc. You know the drill. That's where he was this time last year, around that 1-5 area with Tet McMillan, even as high as the 1-2, to be honest with you. People had him. So he's dropped a full round of value. Scoop that up, take it, take the shot on a guy like Luther Burden. Right after Luther Burden, I'm going to go, and this is where I take Tyler Shuck as a starting quarterback at 2-4. I do not like Tyler Shuck. I do not think he's a good prospect, but I'm not stupid either. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL that you can pay a second round pick for. He might be an old rookie. He's not an old quarterback. There's a chance he works out. You'd be stupid not to spend your second round pick on Tyler Shuck if you're on the clock here. I'm sorry. I don't care how much you like Jalen Milroe. Don't care how much you like any of these other players. This is a no-brainer. Don't overthink it, right? The KISS system, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Starting quarterback. Even if you don't like him. If he does well, sell him. Get a better player. You're telling me right now if Tyler Shuck hits, you can't go out and get any of these players left. You can't get plus on top of it. You can't get Jalen Milroe plus. If Tyler Shuck hits in the first few weeks, bet your ass you can get Jalen Milroe plus. Go ahead, take the risk. It's worth it at 2-4. 2-5, this is where we're running. This is where we're running out players, to be honest with you. I'll pinch Jalen Milroe here. This is the upside. This is the guy that could break fantasy football if he hits. I think there's more of a chance that he doesn't. But, man, second round picks. A lot of these guys, they're not going to do anything. I hate to break it to you. A second round pick is a third with lipstick on it. Like, a lot of these guys are going to do absolutely nothing. Don't believe me? Go look at your second round last year. Go look. See who's there. Because it's ugly. Go look at it from 2 years ago. Because it's ugly. Go check it out. Go to your sleeper. Go to previous leagues. Go to draft results. Look at some of the names in there. Some of them are completely cuttable. Like, players you can't even use at all. Michael Mayer, he's probably in there in the second round, right? Roshan Johnson, he was a big one. Kendre Miller, got to get me some Kendre Miller shares, right? Jonathan Mingo. So guys like just from 2 years ago. It's not that long ago that people were salivating over these players in the second round that just became nothing. If I pull up even from last year, if we look at the second round from last year, man, here are some of the names that people needed to spend a second round pick on last year. Keon Coleman, Adonai Mitchell, Blake Corum, Ben Sinnott, Jalen Polk. Oh, gotta get me some Jalen Polk. Where are they now? Now, there's a couple of gems sprinkled in there, for sure. But a lot of these guys are going to amount to nothing. Milroe might be one. He might be a gem. Probably nothing. Still worth the risk for sure. Now, let's move on. 2-6. Cam Scatteraboo is coming off the board for me at 2-6. He's got a really good chance over there. I'm not sure Tyrone Tracy's up to too much. I think Scatteraboo has been brought in to compete, probably work in a sort of split with him. I liked what Scatteraboo did. I think he'll work well with Dayball over there. If Jackson Dart comes in, that could be really fun offense to watch if Dart can start clicking. Yeah, I think Scatteraboo's a fine player and he's got a chance to make a little role for himself. So I'm happy taking him at the 2-6. Moving on. Up next, 2-7. This is kind of where I'm running out of players that I do like. I'll take Shad Sanders here. Oh, all day long. All day long. A lot of people are waiting to the third round for Shad Sanders. Don't do it. He's the best quarterback in that room. He's better than Dylan Gabriel. He's better than old man Joe Flacco. He's better than Deshaun Watson on a gurney. He's better than, I don't know, who the hell they got in there? Who else? Some other guys off the couch. Shadur's better than them. And I've got confidence that he'll beat them all out. And once he gets that starting role, he's not going to relinquish it. I think he'll play too well to relinquish it. And at 2-7, that is well worth the risk. Do not wait to the third round for Shad Sanders. Take the risk with your second. That's my advice to you. Take that risk, overdraft it, trade into the second, get Shad Sanders. Take that risk. Because just like we said with Tyler Shuck, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Man, I would even maybe swap Milroe and Sanders the more I'm thinking about it. Because I think he's got more of a path to starting than Jalen Milroe does, actually. So, yeah, Sanders at the 2-5 to 2-7, I really, really like. Other quarterbacks here, I think we're running that. Will Howard, maybe we'll see a little bit later. Now, back on the clock, this is where I take Jaden Higgins at 2-8. Higgins, I think, is a really nice prospect, kind of similar to like a Nico Collins that they already have there. So they've already shown they know how to use a big body guy like that. A lot of people saying, aren't they going to compete in the same areas? I think Nico Collins is good enough. He can play anywhere. So I think you're going to see Jaden Higgins playing his preferred role and Nico Collins move around a lot as a kind of weapon, dynamic presence that people aren't really sure what to do with. So I think they'll get Higgins involved early and often, and he's going to come out with a real solid rookie season. Going into 2-9, this is where, yeah, I don't see anywhere else I can go here apart from take Matthew Golden, only because he's got the first round capital. That's it. End of list. I don't think he's a good player. He barely cracked 900 yards, including the playoffs last year. If you look at the actual college season, he didn't have a single game over 100 yards. That's terrible. He had one of the highest drop rates among all the wide receivers in this class. Like almost double that of a guy like Ted McMillan. In fact, I think it was over double of a guy like Ted McMillan who doesn't drop a whole lot. And he was playing with awful quarterback play at Ted McMillan, let's remember. If we look at Matthew Golden's games outside of the college football playoffs, 0 games over 100 yards, 0 games over 90 yards, 1 game with 80 yards. And this is awful. This is awful. I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I don't see where people are getting it. He's in a crowded wide receiver room where I don't even think he's top 2 best wide receiver in that room. So I don't like Matthew Golden. I think when a player does so little and then the combine happens and he roars up boards where you see people taking him over guys like Jackson Dart and Caleb Johnson at the end of the first round, I just think that's red flags. I think that's red flags. So this is where I am happy taking him. I will probably have 0 shares of him because of the 2-9 area, but hey ho. What are you going to do? I could be wrong, I could be wrong. He could improve. He could move forward. Him and Jordan Love could have a great connection. We'll have to wait and see with Matthew Golden, won't we? Right, moving on next. We go to the 2-10. A lot of people liking Jack Besh around this area. I'm like, okay. I don't think he's awful. I'm going to go, man, I don't like any of these guys. I'm going to be honest with you. If I can be real with you, I don't like any of these guys. So go ahead here and give me Bashel Tutin, a guy that might have a chance to come in. ETN might not be long for the Jag starting role. Tutin has a chance to come in like a Bucky Irving last year and take that role for himself. He's a high upside, high speed, fun player. That could be great. That could be great. Again, I'm just shooting for upside. It's the end of the second. I hate whenever you come in and like wax lyrical about a player that you take at the end of the second. It's like, if you really liked him, you would have taken him earlier. So you'll notice me becoming less and less positive about these players as, oh, this really is the Dynasty Hotseat, as my fiance burns my dinner downstairs. It's not her. It's the hot takes that I'm giving on this show. That's what it is. Let me pause this so it decides. Woo! Cleared up all that, but look out, more hot takes coming your way. Hopefully, it won't set off the fire alarm again as Bashel Tutin gets locked in at 211. Right next, let's go Cal Williams. If he can make a rapport with Drake May, I really like that. He obviously has a little bit more competition over now with Stephon Diggs, but Diggs won't be there for very long. I think Cal Williams can carve himself a nice role at New England. Could be fun to see with Drake May. So let's go ahead and take him at the back end of the second where I'm comfortable with. Then Jaden Neil. Jaden Neil, I'm happy taking him. I think the Tank Dell experiment is over. We've seen him do very well when he was fit and healthy. He's just too small. He's too fragile. He's too frail. There is a limit. I think they'll use Jaden Neil very similarly, and he will be able to do it. It's going to sound like an insult, but it's not, because actually Tank Dell, when on the field, was dynamic. I don't know if he'll do it as productively as Tank Dell, but he will do it more reliably than Tank Dell. And I think that's a trade-off that most people will be willing to take. So I'll take him at the back end of the second round. Can I speed run through a third round for you? I think I can, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead at the 3-1. I'll take Jaden Blue. He's got a chance at Dallas. I think Javonte Williams will edge him out, but Jaden Blue has a chance to be a starting running back. So you got to take those swings absolutely for sure. Jack Bash is here still. It's tricky. It's tricky. Jacoby Myers is there, who I think will take a lot. Trey Tucker is still a good player. I'll take a swing on Jack Bash here in the third because he has a chance to carve out a role. But I even if he does well, I think he's easily replaceable. But I'll take a swing on him at 3-2 for sure. Moving up next, we've got 3-3. This is where I take Terrence Ferguson. I think Terrence Ferguson is a better player than Mason Taylor, which is against the grain. I think a lot of people think Mason Taylor is a better player. I prefer Terrence Ferguson. That's why I'm going to go with Terrence Ferguson. I think he has a better landing spot as well at the Rams. We know the Rams do try and get the tight ends involved. None of them can stay healthy is the issue. So I think Ferguson could be in line for a very nice first season. Then let me go ahead and take Harold Fannin right after him. He's slipping down boards. I don't really know why. I don't hate the Cleveland landing spot. They obviously don't want to keep David Njoku around for too much longer. That contract's going to be mega for David Njoku. So Harold Fannin can come in and, yeah, who knows who we can link up with. I think he's probably a better prospect than Terrence Ferguson overall whenever I was grading them out. But obviously draft capital, etc., makes you move people around. I like Fannin there at 3-4. I think that's really nice value for sure. Moving on. Next into the 3-5. This is where I'm happy to go take a punt on Will Howard. Will Howard, I mean, Will Howard's a big, strong, pretty decent quarterback. He's not got a lot of competition over at Pittsburgh again. Take these chances, folks. Take these swings. I'd rather swing and miss on a quarterback than swing and miss on a running back or a wide receiver, especially here. Like there's not gonna be a lot of blue here, put it that way. All these wide receivers, there's almost no point sometimes taking a wide receiver in the third round. Like they almost never pan out. I mean, if we go back and talk about last year's wide receivers that you were taking in round 3 and beyond, you're looking at Roman Wilson, Malachi Corley, Luke McCaffrey, Javon Baker, these kind of guys. That was just last year. They're cuttable now, most of them. So this is the kind of caliber of wide receiver you're getting. I would advise strongly to avoid round 3. Even Jalen Royals, so my beloved Chiefs. Now, the one I've been taking a lot, and because he falls to round 4, is actually Alec Iomanner. We'll maybe get to him a little bit later. Again, I don't have too much hope for him, though. Let's move on, though, shall we? Let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and take an upside pick here with Deon Neil. Deon Neil has the skill sets to be a solid, dependable player. He's a taxi squad guy. Alvin Kamara is the guy again next year, and maybe even the year after that. Deon Neil's better than the rest of the competition there, I believe. He can come in every now and again. If Kamara gets injured, which hopefully he won't, obviously, I trust Deon Neil to come in and have a real solid season. Excellent pass catching. Very solid between the tackles. A real good running back. Shame that he doesn't have much of a chance to break out with Alvin Kamara there. But he is a good, solid player nonetheless. So I'll take Deon Neil at 3-6 all day long for sure. Next up, I am tempted to go with a guy like Trevor Etienne here because, yeah, I'll go ahead and take Trevor Etienne. Chuba Hubbard obviously had a good year last year. Let's not kid ourselves. He's not that good. Chuba Hubbard is not that good. He is a running back in a good position. We have seen it time and time again. All you need is a chance. Chuba got a chance. Good on him. Good on him. But he's not that good. So Trevor Etienne has a chance to come in. And if he shows enough, I think he will replace Chuba Hubbard. I don't think he will. If I did, I'd take him in the high second, obviously. But there's a chance. There's a chance. So 3-7, I'll take that chance on him for sure. Other running backs available here. You can see this is what I'm just doing, going running back crazy here. Mason Taylor. So a lot of people like Mason Taylor. I'll take him here. I'll take him at the 3-8. A lot of people will take him a lot earlier. I'm kind of basing this on he got pretty good draft capital. A lot of people really like him. I don't fully see it, but I'm listening. You know, I'm not just saying this is my way or the highway. I'm listening. I'm adjusting. I'll take Mason Taylor here at 3-8 because a lot of people I know and trust do like him. So go ahead and give it to me there at that position. Let's move on at 3-9. This is where you might want to think about it like a guy like Dylan Gabriel, but I haven't pulled the trigger on him at all yet. So I think I'll go ahead, go back to the running back room. Dylan Sampson, he's probably fallen enough at this stage. I know we spoke about Judkins earlier, but if there is any kind of chance that they are going to want to run a committee, Dylan Sampson will do quite well. Just Judkins will outshine him in every area, but man, good luck predicting what the Cleveland Browns are going to do. They're probably going to start Dylan Sampson over him the way that organization is run. So here I'm just taking the pick on the talent. He's too talented to go in the third round. This is a landing spot thing. So I'll just take the talent of Dylan Sampson at 3-10 there for sure. Next up, back end of the third. Where do we go? Elijah Arroyo, I think, will go next. I quite like taking some flyers on tight ends in the third round. Elijah Arroyo ends up at Seattle. Could be a fun little landing spot for him. He's a pretty good athlete. He's a pretty fun player. Is he very good? Not really, but knows anyone else in this range anyway. So why not take a little flyer on him anyway? I'll go ahead next. I'm not interested in any of these running backs, really. Jordan James, potentially, because of the San Francisco running back room, the way it works. If you get a chance, it can be really fulfilling. Taj Brooks is a guy I do really like, as well as Woody Marks. I think they've got a chance as well. So you can normally wait a little bit later, but I'm going to go ahead and stick my neck out a little bit for Taj Brooks. And then I'm going to stick my neck out again a little bit for Kyle Menengai as well, who has a chance over at Chicago, where, I mean, we know Ben Johnson doesn't like DeAndre Swift. That's kind of on record what happened over at the Lions. Swift got punted out. Menengai could come in, have a chance. Is he overly talented? No. Is he fun? Yeah. Hell of a lot of fun. As is Taj Brooks. Taj Brooks, I found him a lot of fun to watch last year. He is consistent. He is reliable. And again, same argument I have with Chuba Hubbard, what we have with Chase Brown. Chase Brown isn't that good. He's just got an opportunity. And Taj Brooks has a chance to come in and potentially wrestle some workload away. Again, do I think he will? No. That's why he's here and not higher up in the second round. But I can paint a picture in my head. Can I tell a story where Taj Brooks takes over? Yeah, I can a little bit. Hey, are we going to go all 4 rounds? Let's go. Let me just speed run through some of these guys, shall I? Alec Iomanner, I've taken a lot, mainly because I seen this guy go all the way up here in the first round pre-draft. People loved him. He goes to Tennessee. There's not much competition. He's a big, strong, physical unit. He could carve out a role for himself. I can see it. So why not? It's very rare I'll take a wide receiver around this area because running backs just have statistically so much of a better chance through injury of getting any kind of relevancy. But Io Manor, yeah, I can see a path for him. So give me him at the 4-1 for sure. I'll go ahead and take Jordan James, as talked about earlier, at 4-2. That wide receiver or that running back room is fluid. We know that. anything can happen. I want him on a taxi where I can sell him if he does get a starting run at any stage. Dylan Gabriel, give me him at 4-3. He could win the job. I don't think he will. I don't think he's better than a guy like Shad Sanders, but man, he does have a pretty deep ball. We've seen quarterbacks come out of that Oregon system recently with Bo Nix that are really good at picking up things. Gabriel's played on a lot of teams. He's picked up a lot of playbooks, kind of like Bo Nix. There's a chance. He'll have a point to prove as well. So I'm happy taking a quarterback flyer in the 4th round on Dylan Gabriel for sure. It's probably going to come to nothing, but that's just fine. I'm going to go ahead and take Jarquez Hunter right after him. He had that one phenomenal game last year where he looked unstoppable. I've never been a big fan of Kyron Williams, but he keeps on grinding, keeps coming through. But who knows? We know Sean McVay's funny with running backs. Maybe Jarquez Hunter gets the hot hand again. Probably not, or I'd take him earlier. But this is kind of where we are. Woody Marks for me is next. I'm quite happy taking Woody Marks at 4-5. He's got a little opportunity over at Houston to make a little role for himself. I was going to say to leave his mark, but that's absolutely terrible, guys, isn't it? It really, really is. Who's up next? Jalen Royals at the Kansas City Chiefs. Go ahead. I'll take my guy because I'm a homer. That's literally it. In the 4th round, yeah. He could be fun. We know there's issues with Rashee Rice. I don't know. Again, this is a 4th round pick, guys. I'm not going to sell you the moon on these guys. Most of them probably going to amount to absolutely nothing. So why not just take some guys that you find a little bit of fun and make some homer picks like Rashad Smith and like all your team's players. I'm going to go here and I'm going to take Xavier Restrepo, a guy I really liked pre-draft. He ended up not getting drafted because he had a horrible time at the Combine and Pro Day. He was injured during that. He has an excellent rapport with Cam Ward. I'll take a chance that rapport comes to shine and works in the NFL. I'll take a chance in the 4th round every single time on that for sure. I'll go ahead and take Gunnar Helm, another Tennessee guy here. You'll notice I'm loading up in Tennessee players because somebody's got to actually hit out of all these pass-catching weapons. Ironminer, Helm, Restrepo. One of these guys is going to emerge. So I'm taking punts in them left, right, and center because I think one of them is going to be pretty good value. You can get them all in the 4th round. So I'm pretty pleased. Ironminer maybe I've left a little bit late. He's maybe more of a 3rd round guy, but I've picked up a lot of him in the 4th round here, there, and everywhere. Let's go ahead. Man, this is where I'll take Rashad Smith. Again, a running back with some kind of chance that he might play. Do I take Khalil Wilson? This is where maybe I go ahead and take Raheem Sanders, just in case of injury over at LA. Rocket Sanders, we've seen in the past has had potential. He started showing a little bit last year of what he had. Obviously, never got back to his form of 2 years ago. Kind of like Ollie Gordon. But man, that room's so crowded. Ollie Gordon, I think, is borderline undraftable. It's sad. He's borderline undraftable. There's too many players ahead of him that are just better than him. So this is where I'm kind of maybe even going to take a punt on LeQuint Allen instead. Yeah, I think I do take a punt on LeQuint Allen here instead. Because of that Jacksonville backroom, you don't know what's going to happen there. Bashel Tutin's all the way up here. LeQuint Allen's really good with his hands. He's a good player. He's got a chance. I think he's got more of a chance than Ollie Gordon or GJ Giddens. But Jonathan Taylor has been a little bit banged up. So maybe this is where I just pull the trigger on Giddens here. I'll take Giddens at the back end of the 4th. Whew. 38 minutes. 4 rounds. Pretty good. It's a lot easier when you don't have to talk to anybody. Much easier. I don't have a guest taking up all my goddamn time. I could be talking for 40 minutes every show. You guys would love that, right? No, I don't think anyone would love that. So let's run through it. You can all read. Pause the video if you want to run through it. There's my team. This is my rankings. Tell me it sucks. I know probably some of you are thinking it, but this is my honest opinion. After doing this from October, it is a blend of watching all of these games in college as they happened, taking into account what the Combine said, the tiniest amount. Really, like you can probably skip the Combine and be fine, to be honest with you. It might even be better if you do. Looking at the NFL draft, listening to others, but most importantly, I'm trying to listen to myself more this year. And this is where I have these players ranked. This is where I think is the best value for these guys and the right value for these guys. So anyway, that's the end of rookie season. That's it. We're done drafting rookies. We're into startup drafts starting next week. Thank you for coming along on this epic journey of rookie content. If you've been here from October, salute to you. I've loved how much it's changed. Can't wait to get digging in to the 2026 class, because we're going to start doing that way too early again, as always. But for now, we're going to focus on some startups. And of course, we got the worst team ever show coming to you once a week, as always, too. Guys, thanks for tuning in. And remember, for anything Dynasty you need to know, keep it locked on the Certified Inverno. See ya.